Hey guys, it's Flawkes, and today I'm going to be showing you a little bit, or I guess I'll be talking a bit about the Thunder Arena Vortex. So first off, I'm going to give a relatively blanket statement about Arena in general. Usually in Arena, you tend to go for one of two types of teams. One is straight up power, where you literally just kill the other team's units with just regular attacks. Like, you want to gear your team so that you can stack as much damage as possible, so that on the first turn with just regular attacks, you can guarantee at least 2 units die, or at least 1 or 2 units die. Because if less than 1 or 2 units die, then you might be in a little trouble, because the other team might be able to generate enough Brave Crystals for a BB, and a BB can ruin your day. So that is one way to build your team. The other way is to build BB gauges, actually. You tend to get leaders that reduce BB gauges, like the size, or you increase Brave Crystal effectiveness, somewhere along those lines. And you use units that have high drop checks or a lot of hits. And you use units like Loden, for instance. Loden, if you didn't know, his BB doesn't actually attack, but it fills everyone's BB gauges by, I think it's like 4 crystals? 5 crystals? I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head, but yeah. Now, my team I'm going to show you right now is actually a bit of a mix. It's a bit of both, because I don't feel like either one is too great, but I'll show you as I demonstrate some fights. So first off is my leader, Rena. I'm using Rena because she gives 65% attack boost to Thunder types. That's a pretty damn good leader skill. And she's using a Mana Hub again, which gives 75% attack boost, and I want to say it's 20% increase to crit rate. I don't remember. And then I have my Loden, who's using an Aegis Cloak. Aegis Cloak increases effectiveness of Brave Crystals, and it also increases defense by 330%, or is it 360% defense for 2 turns? So it's a defensive sphere. Basically, Loden should be taking very little damage for the first 2 turns, and honestly, arena matches should not last more than 2 turns anyways. So yeah. And then I have my Uda, who has been in my previous arena team, regular arena team actually, a long time ago. And then he's also using a Mana Habakin. And then I have my 2 Gribes, who are using extra hit spheres. So Sinister Orb on this one, and then Hollowed Skull on this one. Now, Hollowed Skull and Sinister Orb actually increase attack effectively, because they increase number of hits, but those extra hits have a damage reduction. If it was just a flat out double your hits, you would get double damage, so you get 100% attack boost. But there's a penalty for the extra hits. Hollowed Skull gives a 50% penalty, and Sinister Orb gives a 25% penalty. So Sinister Orb technically gives you a 75% increase to attack effectively. Hollowed Skull gives 50%. But the important thing, though, is that they double your hit counts and therefore double your drop checks. So you get double the amount of Brave Crystals. Gribe actually has a lot of drop checks. He has close to 30, if not 30. I don't remember right now. But so he drops a lot of Brave Crystals. And the reason why I'm using Rena... Well, okay, first of all, let me explain why this is a split team. First of all, I'm using Rena lead. That's a damaged lead. Gribes hit really hard. Like Gribe just is a truck. He just look at his attack stats. They're both above 2200, so that's pretty nice. And then Loden also actually hits pretty hard. He has a 2100 attack. That's pretty good. These are non-buffed. Rena herself is pretty decent, but mostly important as her her leader skill, her attack boost. Uda's not that great, but he's still in the ballpark of 2000, close enough. And then the second thing is, Gribe has a very low... He has a relatively smaller Brave Burst gauge. Most units with like 30 or more are usually not considered small by any means. Rena, Loden, Uda, and Gribe all have Brave Burst gauges that are less than 30 crystals to fill. That's why that's important. That's why with this team, I can usually generate, with just my 2 Gribes, mostly, because I generate like 60 Brave Crystals each. You end up filling like 3 to 4 gauges, usually. And that's pretty good, because I'm not fully relying on damage. Otherwise, I would gear my Gribes with other spheres, and my Loden would be using like a Mono Hub again, right? So anyways, let's put this to actual use, and I'll explain a bit about order as well. As you see, I didn't actually gem very hard, and the first loss was I forgot to put spheres on. But for stuff like this, if you think about it, it's kind of good to wait and then start gemming. Or if you care to gem for this event, then wait a couple days and then start gemming, because first day you're gonna be the same pace as everyone else, and plus the servers are just gonna crap themselves. But more importantly, make sure that there are people ahead of you that you can grind off of. So if you can hit people who are ahead of you in ABP, then you gain more ABP when you beat them, and you also lose less in the case that you lose. So that's why it's better just to wait. So I've clearly been waiting. I haven't been actually gemming at all. This is my first gem using it. So let's attack this guy. This guy's also using Arena Lead. So like I said, these guys should be hitting pretty hard. On average, my team usually kills about 1 to 2 units. If I'm lucky, they kill 3 on the first turn. That already kind of guarantees my win. But then you can also see my full team actually got Brave Burst from my 2, because I'm pretty sure it's my 2 Gribes, because they generate a lot of Brave Crystals. Gribes are really good for this. So that's unfortunate. Yeah, Orna got BB. Yeah, see, that was extremely unfortunate. This is off to a terrible start. This is my first loss since my very first one. Yeah, that was unfortunate. I don't think any of my Brave Burst gauges actually activated. I don't remember, but that's very unfortunate. I basically had 4 chances to activate because one of my units died, but then everyone had Brave Burst gauges. Oh, that was... Dang it, and this is recording. I'm not gonna bother cutting it, whatever. This is the real deal, guys. I lost, and I'll leave it at that. So yeah. See, you'll notice I put Loden at the top. That's important because Loden's BB fills everyone's BB gauges, and if he goes first, he'll fill everyone else first. So then even if you were just barely off of a Brave Burst, he'll fill it up, and then when it's that unit's turn to act, they'll actually have the chance of using a Brave Burst. Uda is second because Uda's AI, his Arena AI, he has like a 60% chance of activating his Brave Burst if there are units that are above 50% HP. So that's why that's important. And then for the rest of the team, everyone's AI is 60% chance to activate Brave Burst gauges when there are units that are below 50% HP. So that applies to Arena and 2 Gribes. So that's why they're on the bottom half of the team. I kind of wanted to guarantee that my 2 Gribes would have a chance, specifically my Breaker Gribe at the bottom, has a higher chance of activating his Brave Burst because he's doing the most amount of damage. That's why I put him at the very bottom, because that way, if Rena's Brave Burst doesn't go off and my Anima Grab doesn't go off, then my Breaker has the highest chance of activating his Brave Burst because of the AI. So, if you guys didn't know about the AI thing, I suggest you go on bravefrontierpros.tumblr.com. Their wiki is very comprehensive, and if you check out the database, there's a link between like the stats and the Brave Burst gauges. I think there's like a blue button. It's like global raw data or something. You click on that, and then they'll open you a new page, and it has like the raw stats from the actual game, and then you'll see exactly the exact numbers that the game runs on. It'll show you the amount of Brave Crystals that you can possibly generate in one attack, how every hit in a Brave Burst is distributed, stuff like exact percentages of numbers, so like it's a buff by like 110% attack buff, or like it's a 60% crit buff, or how the Arena AI works. Like all that stuff is all shown on the website. So that's it for now. I'm not going to spend any more at the moment. I actually have to get out of here for something. I have an appointment. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something, and good luck in the Thunder Vortex Arena. See you guys.